Francisco Restrepo is passionate about environmental conservation, lives in the La Casiana village of the municipality of Jardin, Department of Antioquia. His work dates back 50 years, when he took on the task of building his own forest. Today in our land, TvAgro, we want to highlight the work of this country dweller, who works every day because his reserve is maintained and be a legacy for future generations. We are in the village of La Castellana in the municipality of Jardin. My farm is called La Aventura. At the top of the village of La Casiana, my farm produces coffee, bananas, plantains, fruit trees such as tangerines, lemons, oranges, and avocados, and other fruits. The farm belonged to my father. It is a family heritage. The farm even had some paddocks where we had milking cows. This farm has been worked agroecologically. We have always been friendly to the environment. When my father died, I took control and decided to plant a native reserve where the farm's pastures used to be, and these pastures consisted of an area of 13,000 square meters. I have been planting natives in this forest for 25 years, where it has already become the forest, and I decided to call it the Guacharacas Reserve. I decided to name it the Guacharacas because there are lots of guacaracas here, since they have become almost domestic. I wanted to turn this space into a tourist attraction, where people enjoy a variety of bird species, where you can find the barranquero, the pinch, the toche, the azulejo, the turpial, the cockroaches, among others, because we have approximately 80 species. One of the works that is being carried out is that young people and children become aware of the importance of the environment, conservation, where I have formed a small group called Explorers of the Guacharacas Reserve. With these children we have been intervening in the forest, planting anthuriums, orchids, ferns, among others, thus remembering the paths of this forest. In this forest is the 7 leathers of the Urumo, the Bejuquillo, and where we do not find some very beautiful paths, highly decorated with anthuriums, orchids, where it leads us to the bird feeders. One of the objectives that led me to create this forest was the conservation of water. Since 25 years ago it was a drop of water. I have already observed that 25 years later, the increase in water is incredible. It is surprising. where I said 25 years ago, let the water be made, and 25 years later, the increase was seen. "25 years ago when I started planting trees, the community said I was crazy. Instead of planting coffee and bananas, I found myself planting trees. That was firewood. That I could plant 4,000 to 5,000 coffee trees and 500 to 1,000 bushes where they can produce 20 or 30 million pesos a year. But I continued building my forest. Because I know that with the forest it contributed to the fauna. It contributed to the environment. It contributed to the flora. It contributed to water, and water is life." Children, I invite you to start the tour of the reserve, as we have done. At this time we were observing the decontamination where we saw crickets, butterflies, among other kinds of animals. In the forest we are going to see the increase of, from the source of water. How the plants that we planted last year are strengthened, and we have to look again at the project that we have started of planting orchids. Each one of you is going to adopt one. I want to remind you that you are the future of the world. The owners of the environment, thank you very much for being with us in this important program. Because you are the example as I have been for you. It is a very beautiful legacy to plant a mountain 25 years ago. So at this moment I invite you to move to the forest. In the mountain you will find a surprise. At this moment we are going to start the biggest job that was done last year, which is inside the forest. As I was telling you that we had not met with you for a long time due to the pandemic. But it is going to be a very successful moment for you. Because you are going to see how beautiful the plants are, the promotion of animals, of the waters, and the recovery of oxygen. A child like Emiliano feels proud to be a good explorer. Exact. That beauty. What are you going to tell the world, all the children? One must take care of plants, trees, animals. Exactly, the girl who is here, what does she tell the world and all the classmates of the world? What are we going to do with the environment? That we should not throw rubbish on the ground, and that we should take care of the plants. Before in this forest, 25 years ago it was the paddock or chute where the milking cows were thrown. I came up with the idea of doing it in a forest of pure natives. At this moment, we see the most beautiful thing. That the birds arrived. That increase arrived in the water and you feel a healthy life. Zero contamination. Here you see a totally different environment from the contaminated parts, in the forest. We are planting gardens such as anthurium, orchid, among other plants because we have a number of varieties. The children I am working with here in participation can tell the whole world what is important about them being participating. Because they are very active in planting these plants. It is very nice to see that for a year we have been seeing the process that this forest is growing, that the trail is becoming beautiful, seeing how the plants and trees are advancing and developing from a very young age, giving us an atmosphere of peace and tranquility. It is very cool to do these tours and with this working group that we have because we are dedicated to caring for the environment and reforestation of places that were previously paddocks. For example, it is great to appreciate a landscape as beautiful as the one we are seeing, of water, animals, forest and seeing all the plants and birds that we have at our disposal. This is the opportunity we have had with that reserve. It has been wonderful because we can be here in the forest, learning about all kinds of animals, birds, and plants. It seems to me that the work that we are developing in the reserve is very important for this forest, because we have been promoting water sources, that there are more animals, plants, and birds, and promoting that the fires do not continue, because that does a lot of damage to the environment in which we live. The advice that I give people and all of my generation, young people, adolescents, and children, is that we enjoy every moment we have with nature, that we take advantage of it, take care of it, because this is heritage for us, for our children, for our children's, and for the following generations. We must take care of it, take advantage of it, and not waste time instead of taking advantage of it with nature and with our being. I give advice to all children, adolescents, and young people that we take care of the place where we are because it is a place that needs us. We have to take care of it and not harm it because it is very important for us to take care of it. Why? Because in the forests there is the water source that is water, which is essential for life. There are animals, birds, everything that we have to take care of.